Since the first cordwood trains rolled into the smelter, the town of Chadwick has begun to grow. Storefronts line the dusty streets, new families arrive by the week, and the little depot bustles with more traffic than ever before. The Atchison, Missouri and Western isn't just moving freight anymore, it's building a community. With the smelter supplied, the railroad turned westward. The ranchers of the valley needed a steady supply line, grain to fill the bins, straw bales for bedding, and water to keep the herds alive. The AM&W would be the one to deliver. The surveyors marked a clean path across the prairie, and the first move was a broad, sweeping left-hand curve that carried the line away from Chadwick into open country. Rail by rail, tie by tie, the new branch stretched towards the cattle farm, promising to bring the ranchers the supplies they needed most. As the route was coming close to completion and before the first run could take place, the wheat farm stepped up with an investment of its own. A Class B 9-ton Porter 042 named Wheatie. Though small, Wheatie was perfectly suited to yard work, sorting boxcars of grain and flat cars stacked with straw into tidy cuts, ready for the AM&W to haul west. When the day of the first delivery arrived, the AM&W called on Navajo, the Baldwin 240. She began by coupling to a cut of water tank cars and rushing down to the wheat farm, where Wheatie had the rest of the consist waiting. Boxcars filled with grain and flats stacked with straw bales, all lined up for her to take forward. Navajo unhooked from the water tank cars and moved out of the way, allowing Wheatie to hook the boxcars to the front of the train, and then Navajo would back the train down the siding to hook up to the flat cars. The train assembled, Navajo's throttle was opened wide to start the train down the line. She was willing but small, and the load was nearly too much for her. Her driver slipped, her exhaust barked sharply, but soon the train began to roll gently, and soon she was underway. Navajo pressed on. Mile by mile, she closed the gap until at last the train rolled into the cattle pens. Ranch hands quickly unloaded the grain, straw, and water, filling troughs, bedding stockyards, and keeping the herd strong for market. The AM&W had delivered, and the cattle trade had its lifeline. With the cattle farm now tied to Chadwick by steel rails, the AM&W stretched further than ever before, but the frontier still had more challenges ahead, and the mountains were waiting. Thank you for watching the second episode of the Atchison, Missouri and Western Railroads Online Series. If you enjoyed the ride, be sure to like, share, and subscribe, and don't forget to hit the bell icon so you don't miss the next run down the rails. This is Frisco Man 1522 signing off.